being on this journey is especially difficult if you find yourself to be alone, like most of the times. You don't have friends that you can talk to because the only people who are around you are the ones who do all the degenerate stuff. They don't care about like growing a business, they don't care about living a fulfilling life. And so you find yourself on this journey completely alone. And I have found a wonderful mindset which you can use to somewhat like improve that situation, to make it somewhat easier. And it's basically that whenever you find yourself in a situation where you have to make a decision, or when you are resisting something that is like high on dopamine, and so you don't want to do that activity, or for example, to be like more specific, you are deciding if you want to eat a cake and you know it's sweet, it's tasty, but it's not like aligned with your diet, and so you don't want to cheat on your diet, and you are making that decision somewhat like completely alone. You don't have a friend who can keep you accountable. And so in this particular situation, what you can do is to have that image of like your higher self in your brain. And your higher self is basically the self which has all the traits which you would want your ideal self to have. So for example, he's hardworking, he's disciplined, he's charismatic, he's outgoing, he's, I don't know, something else. You can definitely imagine what kind of like traits you would want him to have. And you can do an easy exercise. I mean, it's not necessary, but it would be easier for you to imagine your like ideal or higher self when you do this exercise. It will take you around 3 minutes. And it's basically that you will take a piece of paper, you will just write down all the traits you would want him to have, like all the personality traits which you would want your ideal self to have. And after you do that exercise, you will have like all the traits listed down which you would want him to have. And so whenever you would find yourself in that situation when you need to make that decision, you would always try to live up to that potential, live up to that ideal self. And so you see that cake and you have written down on that piece of paper that your ideal self has strong willpower, he's very disciplined, and he's narrow-minded, he follows his goals, he doesn't break his values. And so you know that if you don't eat that cake, you will come closer to that ideal self. And whenever you are about to make a decision like that, whenever you are trying to resist something you know is bad for you, but it's just that dopamine that you are craving, then you can always compare yourself to that ideal self. And so you will always try to live up to that self. And of course, it's like not possible for you to actually become your ideal self because it's unrealistic and we are normal human beings. And so we will always make mistakes. Even if you use this exercise, there will be many instances when you just won't follow through and you will do something your ideal self wouldn't do, and that's completely fine. Don't beat yourself up for it. It's also one of the things which I mentioned that is concentrated on practice. So the more you try to use this mindset, the better. Like the easier it will be for you to decide either if you want to eat that cake or you will resist and not eat it. And so hopefully this video was valuable for you. So like the point is that you will try to live up to that potential, to that ideal self, but it's like a lifelong journey. So you won't ever be able to reach that end goal, which is your ideal self. If you liked what I was talking about in this video, then you will probably be interested in the first link in the description. It's still in a test phase, so you can get a wonderful deal. And if you want to learn or raise your awareness in a different kind of area, but in the same niche, then you can watch this video next.